Welcome back to Family Time Thursday. We are very excited that you're with us. You've missed it, but we've probably already created an hour worth of bloopers. If you've missed our bloopers from the last few shows, check the Bridge Facebook page. Tyler posted an awesome video of all of our crazy mistakes. That said, we will also be, because you all think that us messing up is great, so we will be posting bloopers at the end of each one of our Family Time Thursday. So stick around to the very end and make sure you check out the bloopers. Julie, what is one thing that you miss, or maybe a couple things that you miss the most about normal church time?
Yeah, that's an easy one. I think the biggest thing that I miss is standing at the check-in counter and greeting every single one of the Bridge kids that come in to children's ministry and giving them a big old hug and just telling them how glad I am to see them and that they're here.
Philip, what about you? No, well, you know the rules. You can't answer the same thing as Julie.
All right. The relationships. She said kids, so I couldn't use the same answer. So the relationship. No, it is. It would have to be the same thing as Julie. It's the kids. It's the students. It's the relationships you have with them. I just miss hearing how their day's going, their highs, their lows, their week. Just getting to give them a hug and high five and just play foursquare, a little bit of banter. Just hanging out and seeing them. I just miss that face-to-face connection that we had.
So both of you, it sounds like just connection with the kids. What are some ways, Philip, that the teens or the students can stay connected through this time?
So there's a couple different ways we have right now for students to stay connected. First would probably be our weekly Zoom calls. So every student group, whether it be 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, all the way up to seniors, we do weekly Zoom calls with our life group leaders and our youth sponsors. So one way you can stay connected is to jump in on those Zoom calls with your life groups and your student groups week to week. Obviously, you can send myself a text message, send your life group leaders, your sponsors a text message, give us a phone call, and join us on Family Time Thursday. We love seeing the comments that you guys make. We love hearing your feedback week to week. So those are just a couple ways that students can stay connected right now with us.
What about you, Julie? I know your kids are younger, but are there ways for them also to stay connected?
Yeah, we really heavily rely on our Bridge Kids family Facebook page, and that's where we get a lot of our traffic. And that is a great resource that we have to post, whether that's myself posting, whether that's different parents posting pictures of how the kids are doing their Sunday school, how the kids are doing church, or different activities that they're hearing about through the community or that they've done with their kids and they just want to share that with other parents. So it's been a really great tool for us. It's the Bridge Kids family Facebook page. And then every week I'm trying to get an email out to all of the parents, just telling them how much I miss seeing their kids, and then also just giving them additional resources that they can print out and do with their kids as well.
We're hoping that sometime this week on our Bridge webpage, right now we have a family link for Family Time Thursday, and it's right at the top of the webpage. We're also hoping to get some resources out there for you that kind of follow along with what we're doing here, but just different things that you guys can do at home through different Devo times or prayer time or discussion time with your kids. So we'd love that. We cannot say enough how much we miss you guys and miss seeing people and hanging out. We're having fun together, connecting. Hopefully you guys are having fun connecting together, and we look forward to the day when we can all be back to a little bit of normal. So tonight we're going to jump right in and enjoy another Family Time Thursday. Have a great evening.
Together we rise, together we fight, together we burn like a fire in the night. United by one, united by blood, united we burn like a fire for love. This is it, now's the time. Take my hand, we're forming a battle line. Arm in arm, side by side, we will stand for the right. Oh, 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 we can't do this on our own. Oh, 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 all together we will go. We will go, we will go. Oh, oh. Together we rise, together we fight, together we burn like a fire in the night. United by one, united by blood, united we burn like a fire for love. Together we rise. Here and now, join with me for the King. We have a victory, lift it high, have no fear. God with us, the revolution is here. Oh, 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 we can't do this on our own. Oh, 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 all together we will go. We will go. We will go. Together we rise, together we fight, together we burn like a fire in the night. United by one, united by blood, united we burn like a fire for love. Together we rise. Against the enemy, in the name of love for the least of these, we will rise with strength beyond our own. Brothers and sisters, till kingdom come, we will rise as one, like a voice unseen. We will rise by falling on our knees. We will rise as one, like a voice unseen. We will rise by falling on our knees. We will rise, we will rise. We will rise, we will rise. Together we rise, together we fight, together we burn like a fire in the night. United by one, united by blood, united we burn like a fire for love. Together we rise, together we fight, together we burn like a fire in the night. United by one, united by blood, united we burn like a fire for love. Together we rise, together we fight, together we burn like a fire in the night. United by one, united by blood, united we burn like a fire for love. Together we rise.
Think about the timeline in your life thus far. All of the different milestones that have taken place, whether that is learning to ride a bike, whether that was the first time that you went to school, whether that was when you joined a sports team, or whether it was simply when you became a big brother or a big sister. And can you imagine if you had been born 100 years ago? Would things look the same, or would they look different than they do now? Regardless of when you were born, God planned that exact day that you were born. It's true. God has a plan for every single person, and part of that plan includes when you live. In the book of Acts, it says, "He is the God who has made the whole world and everything in it. He himself gives life and breath to everything, and he satisfies every single need. He created all the nations that are throughout the whole earth, and he decided beforehand when they rise and when they fall." You see, God is always at work, and he is working quietly, and he is working patiently throughout your entire life. The events that come together for good are the result of God's control over the course of your whole life. This evening, we're going to take a look at the life of Esther. If you have not read through parts of Esther or have not read Esther in its entirety, I really encourage you to do so. Esther is a strong, brave, and courageous woman, and there is no doubt that her security is in God. The book of Esther is in the Old Testament, and it tells about a time that God used a queen to save his people. Now remember that all of the stories in the Bible, they all fit together to tell one story. The story of how God rescues sinner through his son, Jesus. Now Esther was a Jew, and she was chosen to be the queen of Persia. A man named Haman, who was the leader for the king, he hated the Jews. Now remember, the Jews were all of God's people. Esther's cousin Mordecai heard about Haman's plan, and he had sent a message to Esther. Mordecai begged Esther to use her position as queen to help all of the people. In our Bible story today, we are reminded that God had a special purpose for Esther, living at that exact time and place. Check it out.
"O king, there's a certain group of people living among us. They are different from us and do not obey our laws. If it pleases the king, issue a decree to get rid of them once and for all." "Oh, thank you, king. Thank you for granting this request."
Esther. Haman has a plan to kill all the Jews, and the king has agreed to it. You've got to talk to the king. I know it's dangerous with the new rule that you can't go to the king and speak to him unless he calls you. But what if you're here at this kingdom for just a time as this?
Oh no. Haman has a plan to kill all of my people, and the king has agreed to it? Friends, listen. Pray with me that I have the courage to speak to the king. I have not forgotten the palace rule that says that no one can come to the king unless they are called. But I have to see the king, and if I die, I die. O king, grant my life and spare my people, for our enemy, Haman, has a plan to destroy us all. My people, the king has put an end to Haman's evil plan, and Haman will be punished for trying to trick the king.
Esther, you were made queen because of your beauty, but it's because of your courage that you saved God's people.
Wow, what an incredible story. God's people were really in a scary situation. Esther had a choice to make. She needed to decide how she was going to use her power when her people really needed her. She could either do nothing, or she could risk her life by approaching the king, pleading for the protection of her people. Imagine that you had the opportunity to meet a president or to meet a king and ask for one thing. It's not too often that we have an opportunity to approach a king or to approach a president and ask for that one thing. But what would you do? Would you ask for something personally for yourself? Would you ask for something that would better something in your life? But what if you could ask for something that would help a lot of people? Esther was so brave. She was so brave to approach the king on behalf of all of her people. She could have died. But God used Esther just at the right time to save his people. Esther 4:14 says, "If you keep quiet at a time like this, deliverance and relief for the Jews will arise from some other place. Who knows if perhaps you were made queen for such a time as this?" This situation kind of reminds me of all the people in our neighborhood who serve our community, whether that's the police, or if it's the firefighters, or if it's the doctors, or if it's the nurses, they're all willing to give up of their time, their safety, and help all of those people who are in need. Isn't it amazing that God can use ordinary people to share his gospel all over the world? Esther didn't have any special powers. She didn't have any extraordinary characteristics. She was a girl who was willing to let God use her for his purposes. What I love about this story in particular is that God was working behind the scenes in everybody's lives. As you continue reading through Esther, you will see how God caused the king to read through the records and see that Mordecai had once saved his life. The king now wanted to honor Mordecai for his courageous act for what he had done for him. And then God placed Esther on the throne before the Jews were faced with the possibility of dying. So when trouble came, a person was already in position to help. Oh my gosh, I mean, what an encouragement to us. God can use us too. He has a plan for our lives, and he has a special job for each one of us. At first, it might have seemed like Haman was in control, and he was going to use his power to wipe out all of the Jews. But God was in control despite Haman's evil plan to destroy all the Jews. Like Haman, Satan wants to destroy all of the believers. God sent his son Jesus to rescue us from sin and from death. Jesus gave his own life for sinners. Satan had thought he had won when Jesus died on the cross, but God raised Jesus from the dead, and he defeated Satan once and for all. Esther took a really big risk, and we learned last week how Daniel took a really big risk. Indeed, their security was in God. We all treasure our security somewhere. Where does your security lie? Is your security in the possessions that you own? Well, those can all eventually be destroyed. Is your security in your reputation? Is your security in your looks? Well, beauty can fade. Is your security in your relationships? Well, unfortunately, relationships can be broken. Real security is found in God. This swing has brought a lot of enjoyment to all three of our kids over the past many years. As fun as this swing can be, there have definitely been some scary times involved with it as well. Even when life is scary and we are unsure about what comes next, we can still trust that our life is in God's hands. When our security rests in God, we can face any challenges that lie ahead. Families, that was so great to see that story of Esther come alive. I'd like to encourage you now to take a few minutes with your family to answer some questions to go along with tonight's lesson.
Welcome back. Parents, I hope you know that I love you, that I love your students, that I want what's best for you and your family. I also hope that I can speak openly and honestly with you, that I can challenge you on multiple levels this evening. Honestly, because I'm a parent myself, I am challenging myself right alongside of you. A few months ago, I had the honor and the privilege to speak at a mom's group on a Wednesday morning. It was maybe one of the most intimidating things that I've done. You know, speaking to a group of 30 women with toddlers, but it was filled with great conversation. One of the questions that I received from a mom was, what could they do right now as a parent of a toddler, of a younger elementary age child, to better prepare their children for when they get to student ministry, when they get to those adolescent years? And I loved that question, and it opened up some fantastic discussion points for us. And my answer to that group was twofold. First, I told them to make church a priority. Church and church activities must be given priority in our schedules. And I'm not saying you can't do other things. There's much value in being well-rounded, in making time for other things as a family to be involved in, and having an influence in the community. However, when those things start to replace church, when they replace youth group, when they replace Sunday school, mix and move, life groups, vacation Bible school, you're sending a clear message to your children. And what you prioritize, your children will prioritize. And what your children prioritize, their future families will prioritize. See the trend? Secondly, I answered that question by stating that we must model church and what service looks like to our children. Our kids always watch, always hear, always remember, and always repeat what we do. If we model service, if we model the sacrificial love of Christ to our kids, they will remember and they will repeat that. This evening, I'm going to challenge you by asking you to partner with us in prioritizing and modeling a service project for a local nursing home. Like Julie mentioned in her lesson, we have all been created for a certain purpose, and the time and place that we live in is not an accident. It's all part of God's plan and purpose for our life. Parents, as our challenge for you and your family during this particular time is for you to help and encourage your children write a letter or note of encouragement to the residents and or the staff members at Shenandoah Nursing Home in Fishersville. During this pandemic, the residents of that nursing home are not allowed to have guests or family members come and visit them. And as you can imagine, this can be very lonely and a very isolating time for those residents. The staff at Shenandoah are feeling the weight and the burden of this pandemic and trying to meet the needs of those residents. Bridge Student Ministry and our Bridge kids are asking you to partner with us in writing encouraging letters that we can give to the residents and the staff members to lift their spirits, to put a smile on their face, and to be a glimmer of hope to them in these difficult times. We attached some writing templates for you to use in the email that you received tonight. One template was for writing a letter to a staff member. The other template was for writing a letter to a resident. After you write your letters, please drop them off in the breezeway at Bridge and place them in the basket labeled Letters to Shenandoah Nursing Home. We will begin to deliver those letters to the nursing home in bulk. Parents, just like Esther, like Daniel, we have a choice to make. We can choose to help our students and encourage them to write a letter, or we can choose not to. Choosing what is right isn't always easy. It will require sacrifice on our part, but choosing what is right is always necessary. Will you partner with us and serve the residents and the staff at Shenandoah Nursing Home? Will you help us be the hands and feet of Jesus to them?
As we continue tonight in our prayer time, our family prayer time, I want to keep it simple tonight. And in just a few minutes on your screen, there's going to be a slide. And on that slide, it is going to be a complete prayer that you just need to fill in the blanks. It does follow the pray model, which we've looked at over the last few weeks. P stands for praise, R stands for repent, A for ask, and Y is for yield. use this as you like. This is completely written out. It's just fill in the blank. As a family, you can take turns when you get to the blank going around and each sharing. You can each share it on your own and do your own prayer. This may be something that you're very comfortable with, and if you just each want to pray together, take the time to do that. Tonight we're actually going to give you a few extra minutes to do this together. If your family's like mine, the kids are probably ready to be done. They're ready to go off and do something else. Challenge you to just bring everybody together and enjoy this time together. Allow me to pray for you as you enter this time. God, I'm thankful for the families that are sitting in front of a screen right now and getting ready to open their hearts to you. God, hear the prayers of your people. God, I love them, I miss them, and I know that you've got them in the palm of your hand. In Jesus' name, amen. I hope you're enjoying this prayer time together as a family. We're going to continue on with one more song from the band, and don't forget to stick around for a couple funny bloopers.
Let the king of my heart be the mountain where I run, the fountain I drink from. Oh, he is my song. Let the king of my heart be the shadow where I hide, the ransom for my life. Oh, he is my song. 'Cause you are good, you're good. Oh, 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 let the king of my heart be the wind inside my sails, the anchor in the waves. Oh, he is my song. Let the king of my heart be the fire inside my veins, the echo of my days. Oh, he is my song. Let the king of my heart be the wind inside my sails, the anchor in the waves. Oh, he is my song. Let the king of my heart be the fire inside my veins, the echo of my days. Oh, he is my song. 'Cause you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good.
You're never gonna let me down. 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 No, you're never gonna let me down. You're never gonna let me down.
'Cause you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. Oh,
You're never gonna let me down. You're never gonna let me down. No, you're never gonna let me down. You're never gonna let me down.
you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, your good. Oh.
Welcome back to what do you call this thing again? Thursday.
Family night Thursday.
Thursday
Family time.
time.
Everybody
Family
looks at me. I'm
time
right
Thursday.
here. I don't know.
Family time Thursday.
Family time.
Family
Thursday.
time with.
Pause, pause, lick.
Have a good evening. Abadaba. Get good sleep. Go to bed, take a bath, and brush your teeth. Don't do it in that order.